Welcome back, everyone. So today we're talking about how to glue up our table. Process. We have to do it sequentially with respect to assembling all the aprons and the stretchers, if you have stretchers down low, to the legs. So I've done a dry fit and everything. Everything fits. I'm happy with everything where it's at. What I need to talk about now is sequencing of this, as I said. So what I'm going to do is assemble the left side, then the right side. So get the apron installed there, and on both, clamp those together. The second both of those are in clamps, then I can bring the front and the back together for my assembly. If I don't do it this way, what will inevitably happen is I'll start with one side, I'll throw in a back, legs go in there, I'll assemble another apron, and then I have this connection here on whatever the last section is going to be, where I have to pry this open, driving in the joinery, and then set this one back. And anytime I start to introduce geometry to something that needs to be going in a linear path, none of that works. So instead, we're going to break this thing down into just three simple glue ups. One side, step number one; second side, step number two, and then when we assemble those last elements, front and back, that's going to be step number three. Once I've done that, then we have a table successfully installed. Okay, so I have everything I need. I have all my parts. I've got clamps. I've got adhesive. I'm going to use Type Bond 1 for this. I have something to apply the adhesive with. And here we go. I really like these glue spreaders. Brushes are just a little bit clunky, a little bit awkward for getting into these places, but this does the trick. Pretty generous with the glue here. If you remember conversations about cutting mortises and fitting tenons into those mortises, I'm always going to have a little extra space on the bottom of my mortise to allow for any of the squeeze out of that extra glue to go on the bottom. Squeeze out on the exterior here, I'm less worried about. That I can always clean up and deal with as I go through the process, and there's a final glue up, or a final clean up in the glue up phase as I go. What I'm not going to do is let that glue set up and cure, because that will be difficult to clean out once it's dried and hardened, and it's a situation where I'm going to start chipping it out, which I don't want to do. Make sure that the alignment of the top of the apron aligns perfectly to the end of the leg. It's a little bit off. I can clean it up after the glue is dried, but it's just one less thing to deal with after. So I'm happy with that. For the size of this apron, I'm only going to need one clamp here. I'm going to try to be sensitive to the fact that there's no supporting structure on this mortise, so I want to drop this clamp a little bit lower, keeping it in line with where that joint is. Alright, good. I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll start with the next video.